Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to part 2 of this video wherein I review chapters 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 of the book I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Moving on to the 5th chapter, Ramit Sethi is basically encouraging us to automate our investments. He is a very big advocate of low cost funds, especially index funds. He is not very optimistic about individual stock picking, which again is just a perspective. If that perspective is not matching with yours, there is no need to argue about it. It is perfectly fine to have your own investing style, given that you are able to have a good return. And again, he is always having the American stock market in mind. You mostly will have the Indian stock market in mind, and both the stock markets work in a different manner. They have a different story going on. In the 6th chapter, he speaks about the myth of financial expertise. Now, if you aim to be a fund manager in the future, or if your parents are working in the fund management industry, they are not going to like this chapter. And this is backed by data from the American stock markets that only 4% of the fund managers are able to give a successful return in the long run. So basically 96% of fund managers are going to fail in the long run, and he warns us that do not imitate the full-time financial people. Like, you may say that Warren Buffett is basically doing individual stock picking and he is generating massive returns every year, but understand that he is doing it full-time. You may say that there are so many Indian investors, many of them have come into light after the Scam 1992 series, and you may say that they are making so much money with the help of individual stocks. But understand that all of them, it could be an American expert, it could be an Indian expert, they are doing it full time, and you have a day job for the most part, and you have only like 5 to 6 hours per week for your money management. So be very careful. It is okay to get inspired by them, but do not imitate them. Do not attempt to imitate their investing style. He then elaborates on mutual funds versus index funds. I mean, this is one of the biggest debates in the financial and investing space right now. Mutual funds are actively managed, managers charge high fees. Index funds are going to be passively managed, the managers charge low fees. Now, this is just a perspective that the index in the long run is always going to outperform, in the sense that it is always going to go up. I mean, we have had massive bear runs, bear episodes, I would say. I mean, we all know what happened to the Indian stock indexes in March, but long run, keeping the end in mind, the index is always going to go up. So index funds might not be a very bad idea after all. In the 7th chapter, he is basically motivating us by saying that investing is not only for the rich people. Depending on the amount of initial capital you have, some financial instruments may not be available for you, but there are always many financial instruments in which you will be able to invest even with low money, even with a small amount of money. He advocates us to fully exploit our 401k and Roth IRA accounts, but in India we don't have them. So interested people who want to move to the US, they can have a read in that small section. But generally he is advocating that decide which investments are suitable for you, avoid fees. I mean, even Warren Buffett is a very big very big supporter of this saying that avoid fees, because fees are always going to eat up into your returns. He is basically explaining the various kinds of funds and financial instruments, giving a general overview: stock funds, bond funds, then we have life cycle funds. Life cycle funds, I am not sure whether they are available in India. Individual stocks, metals, art, antiques, cash. He is basically explaining all these financial instruments. And then he talks about the Yale model. Now, I am a very big fan of the Yale model. So the Yale model is basically a financial asset allocation model which is employed for the Yale University endowment. And David Swensen is the one who basically invented this model, and it is basically just a method of asset allocation. And David Swensen has been producing massive returns every year. You can have a look on the internet about it. And David Swensen even has a book about the Yale model. The link is in the description below. And yeah, the Yale model can be easily adapted for Indian portfolios also, I believe. Then Ramit Sethi moves on to give various examples of portfolios which were built using low cost funds. So he is just not motivating you, he is just not elaborating the kind of financial instruments available. He is basically even giving you sample portfolios. Now moving on to the 8th chapter. 8th chapter is all about understanding that you have to focus on the long run and you have to ignore the noise, because there is so much of data, there is so much of noise every day on news channels, on social media, in the newspaper, that it often becomes very ambiguous to see what lies ahead in the long run. He basically tells us to take advantage of all the tax efficient investment methods. Like in the US you have Roth IRA and 401k. In India also we have many such low cost funds which are basically tax efficient. So take advantage of those financial instruments. In the 9th chapter, he basically talks about the personal finance or the financial aspects of many important things in our life. Like most people are going to buy one house, they are going to buy one car or one vehicle of some sort. They are going to have a romantic relationship with someone. They are going to marry someone. Yeah. So he basically explains that how would you go about handling the finances. I mean, this is really important. Like let's just say you have a romantic relationship with a person for a few years, and so basically you've got to know them financially. You have to be at par with your boyfriend's financial health, financial habits. You have to be at par with your girlfriend's financial habits. You know, if your spouse or if your other half is overspending, you have to be able to explain to them that why is overspending or impulse buying harmful. So Ramit Sethi gives you a lot of specific examples wherein what is the language that you would use. How would you basically motivate them and persuade them to change their financial habits for the future, you know, to improve their future. He tells us that since it is our own money, we must manage it. Do not simply hand over your money to your parents, because even if you make a mistake and there is a loss, you know that it is your mistake. Learn to take charge of your money, be responsible for your own money. Again, this is all about the personal responsibility thing, that only you are responsible for your own financial health. Then one of the points that he makes is how to efficiently repay a student loan. Like many of you are going to take a student loan for studies, you know, MTech, MS, MBA, PhD and so on. So many student loans are there in the market, so many companies, banks, NBFCs, all that. And then it is like, how do you efficiently repay the student loan? Like, do you start investing initially at the start, or first you repay your loan and then start to invest? You will learn all that when you read that section in the book. Then he also tells us that when you buy a car, be very careful with the down payment. You have a monthly payment, and then you have payment for the insurance, payment for the maintenance. So this again in India it works in a different manner, but it is very helpful to read and understand his perspective. I mean, you buy a car in the US or you buy a car in India, you have to have the vision to plan your loan. You have to have a plan that how much am I going to spend on maintenance for the first 5 years? How much am I going to spend on insurance for the first 5 years? So you have to have all these things in your mind. And then he tells us that when you buy a house, you have to be very efficient, that how much of a down payment, how much of a monthly payment, what are the other costs involved. Now again, the real estate market in India works in a completely different manner, and there is often a lot of ambiguity when it comes to the finances of buying a house. For most people in India, for most houses in India in fact, the financial matters are highly ambiguous. So this part again may not be very valid for Indian readers. And then it comes to weddings. Now this is actually something laughable, that in India still the marriage of the child is a burden on the parent. Like parents have to, there is so much going on inside their minds when it comes to the marriage of their child, both financially and also that who they are going to marry in case of arranged marriage. But in the US, the kids are basically saving for their own marriage. For that 1-2 days of events, they are going to save for 4-5 years. So that's, I think, again, this is all about being responsible for your own life. Like, it is my marriage, so I will save money. My marriage, so I will do it the way I want. Yeah, parents can just be a guest and they can enjoy. All the responsibility is on me, all the workload is on me and the team that I appoint. Yeah, so and like that is just one thing which can be really helpful. Yeah, so this when it comes to parents, for Indians, I want to say, like, what I'm noticing is that, I don't know because I haven't moved abroad, but generally there are thousands of parents who are gonna move to US, UK, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Europe, Germany, somewhere, so that they can take care of the child of their child. So I mean, like, I feel really bad because parents basically eventually they'll have all sorts of health issues, leg problems, hand problems, lung problems, back problems, knee problems and all, and then they have to do all the work and they have to take care of the grandchild. I mean, I understand that these daycare services and all, they may be costly, but I think that can be a very good thing to motivate you, that in the future at the age of, let's say, where, like, after I marry, I must be able to have some sort of a financial strategy to ensure that I can hire a daycare. I can very efficiently pay the money to hire a daycare for my child so that my parents don't have to exert themselves. I mean, this is just one thing that you can have to motivate yourself when it comes to that. Why do I have to study personal finance and investing? Why is it important to know about personal finance? Yeah. So all in all, I would say that this is a very good book for anyone who is just getting started with personal finance and investing. And at the end, I would say that, like, this is just the start. Like, I told you about the book regarding the Yale model. The link is in the description and here also somewhere. Like, that book is basically going in depth about just one model that Yale has been using to invest its money in. So I mean, this is a very good area. If you can read even one book per month, then in 2-3 years you will have a very strong knowledge of personal finance and investing. Thank you. This was part 2 of the video. If you had not watched part 1, the link for the video is in the description below. The video is also here somewhere, and I hope that you are going to like this video. That is, you are going to give the video a like. If you wish to see all of my upcoming videos in the future, and if you like these videos wherein I talk about a book that is related to personal finance or investing, then I want you to give the channel a subscribe. I want you to smash that bell icon so you can be instantly notified whenever I release a video. Thank you. If I get enough views on this video, then I will upload a video speaking about this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I know that many of you all have already read this book, but I believe that there are a few things which specifically Indians can learn from this book about how to manage money and how to earn more money in general. So I want you to share this video with as many of your friends as possible so I can get the required number of views so I can upload this new video.